How y'all doing? I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this next one is called Dave's Dilemma. Yes, and back in the day in Chicago, when we was in Chicago, and I had a friend named Dave. Okay, Dave was real cool. He used to run real fast. We used to get in the street and race, and he used to beat everybody. But he had a dark secret, but nobody knew. See, I used to write these papers like a newspaper, like for the neighborhood kids. But I was a child myself, so I was like 13, 14 years old. So, but Dave was older than me. He was like 16, 17 years old. So I used to write these papers about everybody. And I used to tell who likes who, but I never put their real names in there. I would put uh, their initials. CJ likes JB, but JB doesn't know it. Stuff like that. And I used to put in there what a fight somebody had and stuff like that. It was a real interesting paper. And I even wrote a little comic strip in there too. I drew all the illustrations by hand. Sad to say though, none of them papers survived. So, but anyways, so one day I was at the house and Dave came over. So he came over there and I was busy writing the newspaper. And Dave asked me, say, hey, what you doing? I said, I'm right. I'm almost finished with this newspaper. He said, okay. So he sat there while I was writing the newspaper. Then when I finished, I said, all right, I'm finished. I said, check this out. Check this out. He said, I bet it's good. I said, no, no, no. Read it. See, he said, okay, that's good. That's good, man. So I said, you didn't even read it. You didn't even read it, did you? He said, yeah, I skimmed through it. I know how to read, man. I skimmed through that, just skimmed through real quick. Because that's back when they had this Evelyn Woods stuff. Y'all remember the Evelyn Woods quick reading? She been skimmed through. And but after that, I said, man, I don't know. So I said, you didn't even read what I put about you. Because I had put that he liked somebody, but they didn't know it. So he said, I said, read it. He's looking through. I said, man, it's right here. Right here. Right here. Read. He said, man, you crazy, man. You crazy, man. I said, what you think about it? He said, man, I don't know, man. I guess it's cool. I said, man. So it's obviously he didn't read it. So evidently he didn't read it. So after that, it really started. It was messing with my head that this guy of 17, 16, 17 year old, he couldn't read. But he didn't want to admit it. He kept covering it up. So finally, we was out there walking, but he could read stop signs and stuff, but he just memorized what they were, the stop sign or something like that, or a do not park sign and something like that. He memorized what those were. So I asked him. I said, "How did you? You don't go to school, do you?" I kept asking. I was asking questions because I was curious. Because evidently when we went to school, he wasn't going to school. So I said, you don't go to our school? He used to tell me he go to another school, but that was all a lie, you know. So finally, I said, man, this you don't go to school, man. He said, man, forget school, man. School, man. Forget that, man. I don't need to go to school. I'm smart. I teach my own self, you know. So I said, man, and his parents couldn't make him go to school because I don't know what their situation was, but I think I met his mother before, you know, but I don't know. So sooner or later, we were going for summer jobs, you know. So we all got together. It was a summer, so we was out of school. So all of us were going for summer jobs. So he went along with us. So we was all in there filling our applications out. And then he tried to say, hey, look, man, I can talk to him and see can he let me work, you know. So he couldn't even fill his application out. He couldn't even fill his application out. So finally he's sitting up there. All of us got finished with our applications, and he was still sitting there with his pen in his hand. Didn't write nothing on the paper. So I said, bro. So I went over there very discreetly. I said, look, man, what's up, man? What's up? He said, man, forget this job, man. I can go get a job. I can go get another job, you know. So, I don't know, man. So, finally, his brothers came to me, and they told me that he couldn't read or write. So I tried to go to him. I said, look, it was just me and him. I said, look, Dave, look, come to my house. You know, like you come to my house every day, and I can start teaching you how to read. You know, I can teach you how to read. He said, man, what you talking about? I know how to read. I know. He still didn't want to admit it. Didn't want to admit it. So that was it. And man, I don't even think he never got a job. He never got a job. So I guess he lived his life. Well, I think he lives in South Carolina now, or something like that. He's still living with somebody anyway, you know, because he used to live with people all the time, you know. Yep, South Carolina or something like that. But I don't know, man. Look, if y'all got a kid, man, y'all stay on your kids, stay on them, you know. And when they go to school, support them when they go to school. Talk to them, then ask them about their homework and stuff like that, because you don't want your kid to turn out like this guy did, you know. And he never admitted that he couldn't read. He was sworn to secrecy to himself. So, man, I'm telling you, man, don't let your kids turn out like this. There's some programs you can get your kids in to help them out. If they're having a problem with reading or something like that, they have programs that help out with that. Or they have tutors or something. So just stay on top of that, man, because you don't want this. You don't want them to grow up 17, 18 years old and still can't read. That's unheard of. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Grace is off today. So maybe tomorrow. All right, you guys.